Today we got the announcement that Aaron Donald is retiring. So, really great player. Do you guys think he is the greatest defensive player of all time?
No. No.
So I wouldn't be mad at it, right? Like I
Maybe.
don't think he is. But if somebody were to tell me, hey, he's the greatest defensive player, like he has a very valid argument. With
Okay,
two
buddy.
defensive player of the years, one ring. You know what I'm saying? I think Lawrence
Greatest
Taylor
DT.
has 2 rings. And he AD has more defensive player of the years than him.
Correct.
But Lawrence Taylor is like
Is the godfather of edge rushing. So
he created a position.
you can't name pass rusher. You can't say pass rusher and not mention LT.
You know what I mean? But Aaron
So-
Donald definitely has a case. Like, I wouldn't be mad at it.
Aaron Donald's the greatest defensive tackle of all
Yeah,
time.
the greatest DT.
For a long time, it was like John Randall for me.
He the greatest modern player.
But now it's pretty much him. He surpassed Warren Sapp.
He the
For
greatest
sure.
modern player easily. Like I mean, outside of him,
Ray Lewis is the one that comes to mind.
yeah.
It's really the ones that have done it. 2 rings,
And-
bunch of
And I
DPOYs.
ain't gonna lie, AD better than.
And AD, yes, correct. I agree too.
Right,
I'm not
AD.
I'm not offended by that. AD is a difference maker.
He's
AD
crazy.
is giving a lot of smaller guys careers too.
Man.
Dog, y'all seen his draft profile? I've seen his draft profile went viral. It was like he'd be like eventually a special teams player or something like that. It was like, yeah, it was like crazy. That's how you know like the draft like process is so like
Yeah.
it's hit or miss. Like you don't really like
Scouts
there's no
not doing
guarantee.
Nobody knows.
Scouts not
There's
doing
no
what
guarantee,
scouts need
bro.
to
How you
do.
say the greatest defensive player of all time?
Scouts, I just don't
Because
believe
we-
scouts be
Was
doing
that
what
when
know.
you eventually be a special teams player?
We would never know. Because AD, I mean, at tackle, he's not the biggest.
Mm-mm.
But
What 6 foot?
he's
Not
strong.
even.
He's-
5'11".
He's,
Not even
bro.
5'11".
he's strong, man. That's
5'11", 280. Killer.
It's crazy. Being
Killer.
300 pounds of just muscle,
Killer.
that's gonna move mountains. But how are we supposed to know that in the draft?
It's easily first ballot though.
It's funny though, if you watch his film at Pitt, he was even worse in college. He was killing them boys in college. They couldn't block him.
It was
for
deep. I
nothing.
seen a play where he like tackled like the read option and the quarterback. At the
You
same
talking
time.
the read
Yeah.
option and the quarterback. He couldn't stop him in college. So I don't want to start dragging on scouts, but I have a disdain for how modern scouting is done. I think it's done all wrong. The evaluation process is not nuanced at all. I think guys are just checking off boxes and falling into the media hype. And I'm not going to disrespect anybody that really be scouting, but I feel like scouting right now in terms of figuring out prospect, not only is it hard, but when things are hard, you need a lot of dedication. I just don't feel like scouts right now have that dedication to it. Because bet this year, there's going to be a kid that drops, and we're going to be like, how in the world did he drop?
Yeah.
Watch. And it's inevitable. It's kind of one of those things where it's inevitable. I'm not saying it's like it shouldn't happen, but AD went like 26. How in the world did you let Aaron Donald? How did 25 teams?
No, he went 13.
You went 13?
Yeah, he went 13.
You went
bro.
13?
Right before Odell.
Odell. Oh yeah, he did go 13. Who went
Yeah.
26? Who am I thinking of? Who went 26?
I don't
I know who I'm thinking
That
of.
draft was crazy, by
That
the
draft
way.
was crazy, by the
Well,
way.
I do have a question though about Aaron Donald. Has there ever been like another player that's retired at the top of their game like this?
Yeah, a bunch of them. Megatron, Joe Thomas.
That's the best receiver in like the best like not receiver. I guess you can argue
Kuechly?
Key.
the best Mike Backer at the
Lulu,
position
yeah,
at the time.
Lulu, yeah.
I'm not mad at it.
It's a bunch of guys. I think that's the swag now.
I respect it.
Well, especially once you get to that level, I'm over
I
here.
don't want to say
once-
Marshawn. Nah.
Rashawn? Who Rashawn?
Marshawn Lynch.
Oh,
Nah. He did a little early, but he wasn't the
nah,
best.
I remember them Oakland years. Them boys was them Oakland years was
Yeah, I
dark
would
days.
say
Yeah, he was definitely on the decline.
But Kuechly is my pick.
Luke is probably the one that comes to mind
And
on
Megatron.
defense, and
Megatron.
Megatron. Barry's the one that started the trend, though. I think it's what's going to become the vibe, though. Like, Pat Mahomes is on the clock right
Especially
now.
the guys that's in the trenches, I feel like.
Yeah,
for sure.
They're putting their
Joe
bodies on
Thomas
the
is what
line.
started it, too. Joe Thomas, when he retired really early and he had at least 4 years left, I was like, ooh, yeah, it's about that time. Kels just did it. Kels has like 4 years left
But he's old
in
at
his
least.
game. But he, you know what's
But
crazy?
he got time.
He's so old, but he's still literally like the
league.
best center in the league. It's kind of wild,
but
but
it's time.
it's time. Like when you get to this point where you don't got really much to do anymore. Like,
Yeah, he don't got to accomplish nothing else. Like, what are you playing for?
what am I playing for
Yeah.
at the end of the day? And I love that fact that like the moment he stopped being the best defensive tackle, bite up.
I mean, he was still the best.
Yeah.
Chris Jones was demonic this year. Justin Adebuke
It's
was
hard to
demonic
not say
this year.
Chris Jones. Chris Jones. Man, he
Uh,
just got a big contract.
Yeah, Chris Jones was demonic this year. Definitely. I know Pat got them that Super Bowl, but no one talked about how Chris Jones, when he got back healthy, turned them boys
was
up
up.
to 1 trillion. Oh my God, he had Drew Tranquil looking like Pat Willis.
That's a Hall of Famer.
I swear.
That's easy. a
Yeah,
Hall of
Chris
Famer.
Jones, when he dropped that, when he retired too, he might pass AD just in terms of the accolades too, because Chris Jones got a lot of rank.
'Cause I can see him. Being
I'm not
first
saying in
ballot.
skill. I'm not saying in skill. I'm talking about, you know how the
He
in
might be first
accolade
ballot
talk.
for
Yeah,
it, easy.
accolade talk. You know, accolade talk.
Chris Jones is that guy.
Chris
bro.
Jones is the got motion for me.
And he got rings to prove it.
Hall of Famer,
man,
first
shout
ballot.
Shout out
Shout out to Aaron
Donald.
Donald, really big impact player.